Hey, this is Harmon Dash from Make It Fair, along with my colleague Tracy Bender and our founder, Dr. Stuart Phillips, always shining a light on money's corruptive force in our democracy. And as we head towards the 2020 election, it is really on display during the hearings to confirm Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett. And perhaps you saw Senator Whitehouse of Rhode Island, the demonstration that he put on when when it was his time to speak. It was about 30 minutes, and we implore you to watch it for yourself. Take the time to it really digs deep into how money is pulling the strings. But if you don't have the 30 minutes to spend, we'd like to sort of run down for you exactly what Senator Whitehouse put out there. A quote from Senator Whitehouse during his presentation was, "When you find hypocrisy in the daylight, look for power in the shadows." So who is funding all this? Where does this money come from? And what is their end game?
Our present system allows people with money to put their finger on the scale, and it tilts it towards the people with money. The people understand this, and then they don't trust the government. When you have a government that's not trusted by the people, you get chaos. We want to get rid of chaos. We want to restore the faith of the people. As long as they can buy off the courts, we will have chaos.
Well, and that's exactly what Whitehouse pointed out. He pointed out that this has been an ongoing effort by conservative activists to remake our courts. By remaking our courts, what is it, Stuart? You always say that they're actually only, is it 29% of the United States is ultra conservative?
It's lower than that. It's about 22 or 23%.
Right now, a lot of the people in support of Amy Coney Barrett's confirmation through the Senate are saying, no, she's not going to go after settled law like Roe versus Wade. She's not going to make decisions that'll come after marriage equality. She's not going to make decisions based on overturning the Affordable Care Act. However, those who are supporting her nomination and hope to see her confirmed have made it their stated agenda that those are the very things that they want to do. And Amy Coney Barrett's writings, her work, her time on the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals also say that that's the kind of decision making she will make.
Well, wait a minute. So if only 22% of our country wants these things, all of these things that these conservative activists are doing, they've got to be able to come up with a system where they can control our government over the majority. And I know that Harmon regularly points out how Citizens United put that effort on steroids because it gave them dark money, PAC money. And that's what Whitehouse pointed out, is once Citizens United was passed, over the last 10 years, all their activism using that dark money has brought them to the point that now suddenly we're going to have a Supreme Court that is going to be biased towards hardcore right-wing conservative values 6-3, which is the exact opposite of the representation of our country. The players in this example that he gave are the National Federation of Independent Business, the Federalist Society PAC, the Donors Trust PAC, and the Bradley Foundation. Those were the four players. And Harmon, it started with the National Federation of Independent Business. He was able to give a great example, wasn't he?
The last year before Citizens United was passed in 2009, the NFIB, their biggest donation was $21,000. Post Citizens United, their contributions exceeded 10 million, 50 times the amount. So suddenly all of this money is flooding. And how is it dark? It's because the National Federation of Independent Business scrubs identity. They're an entity that doesn't have to disclose who gave them the money. So now you've just got this entity spending tons of money to push the needle towards the moneyed interests, and we don't get to know exactly where that money originated from.
And their goal, their number one goal, was to overturn the ACA. So they started by remaking the courts. They knew they had to remake the courts to be able to overturn the ACA. And then the Federalist Society, the Donors Trust, and the Bradley Foundation joined the team. The four of them together actually combined that money, started making sure that the senators were going to get elected who would confirm whatever candidate they threw at them. And of course, they were going to throw candidates at them that they had purchased. They also started attacking it from the bottom. So what's happened over the last 10 years has been this concerted effort of all these little cases that they're throwing out there to overturn gay marriage, to overturn the ACA, and to overturn Roe versus Wade. So they did case after case after case, specifically with the goal of losing in the lower courts. So right now, they have about 90 cases in the queue waiting to attack those three issues as soon as they have that 6-3 majority. This was all calculated strategy.
Senator Whitehouse pointed out that you can, if you've got the money, unlimited funds, you can buy a politician, you can buy a judge, you can buy the courts. You can't
legally.
You can't buy civilians. That you can't tamper with civilians that are rendering decisions that are legally binding. So they needed to find a way, the moneyed interests needed to find a way to remove the civilian aspect to our court system. And this is what we're seeing and what has been done. This is what we're living with now. So when we tell you that money can corrupt everything in terms of how our government functions in its goal to represent all Americans, money is trying to make sure that it is the only voice being heard. And in the meantime, it is sowing so much distrust in our own citizenry to trust our government, it is causing more of that chaos that Dr. Phillips alluded to earlier.
Our civil courts, it's illegal to bribe and to tamper with a civil court. It's illegal. But the flip side of that is all those conservative activists with giant money made it legal to bribe politicians via PAC money.
And remember, this is not theoretical. Life expectancy in the United States is going down. We are polluting our waters. We are burning California. We have the most intense hurricanes and the greatest number of hurricanes in the Gulf South. All of that is because these big, rich people can buy off the courts.
We always push trying to put forward anti-corruption legislation that will remove that motivation to let money be the ultimate voice in our democracy. We need anti-corruption laws that will allow every single citizen to have an equal voice in democracy, because that is what democracy is. Textbook definition is that every citizen, no matter what's in your bank account, has an equal voice. And that's why we continue to shine a light on money's corruptive force. As Dr. Phillips mentioned, we are going to provide you a link to the video to see Senator Whitehouse's testimony, his presentation during the Coney Barrett hearings in the comments section. Please take the 30 minutes to see it for yourself. We certainly hope that you found this discussion helpful to understanding exactly what Senator Whitehouse was trying to show, and that is that money in the darkness is pulling the strings and taking us all down with it.
What we're interested in is restoring our citizens' faith in government. We have to make sure the government is responsive to the will of the majority.
For Tracy Bender and Dr. Stuart Phillips, I'm Harmon Dash. Thank you for watching Make It Fair.